It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hey guys, welcome to my shop. It is 5 o'clock, 5:15 now, because I had to mess around with something. Today's January something or another, 24th. Today's January 24th, 2022. And I just want to take some time. I did this earlier in the month, and it turned out to be a really good video. I was going to make it a once monthly thing. And what that is talking about and answering my comment section on YouTube for some of the videos I've done. And try to help you guys out and address it a little more personal. I was going to do it once a month, but I've gotten so many comments lately, I didn't want to make it a really long video, so I decided, let's try and do this every 2 weeks. So this is the second week. First one went pretty good. I think I called that an eBay rant or something. I was mad at an eBay buyer, and it went into the comments. But this is just going to be straight comments, positive stuff. I don't like the negativity. All the comments have been left over the past 2 weeks. We're going to go through them. I'm going to answer some of them personally and see what we got. So I'm going to move... This is going to go there, and this guy is going to go over here. That's me. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. Oh, well. Anyway, let's start. Here's one just from today, 18 minutes ago. It looks like it's on my... Can you hear okay? Like you're going to answer me. It looked like it's on my loaded potato soup video. I just made that about a week, less than a week ago. Oh, it was so good, too. Okay, Ed Summers says, are you pushing merch or something? How do you get paid for this? It's pretty sad. Thanks. I bet you if we check old Ed Summers' channel, he doesn't have any videos or any followers or anything. Am I pushing merch? No, not for the cooking videos. I just like doing it. I've been a chef for over 30 years. I'm retired now. I like to cook, so sometimes I need a reason to cook. I like to cook for my family. I like to cook for the American Legion down over the hill. So if I make something special, I try to do a how-to video in case someone's at home wants to learn. Like I said, I've been a chef for 30 years. I'm still learning. I'm going to do something new this week. Don't know if I'm going to videotape it or not, though, but I'm making a tomato basil soup, which is not my favorite soup, but I was asked to make it for the Legion, and I will be doing that. So no, I don't have any merch. I don't get paid. I don't have a super chat button. I don't push a Patreon. I just do this because I really, really like it. So that's about it on that. Sorry you think it's sad. Don't care. Indy Burns. I just answered this today, actually. India Burns. Can you use a smaller bucket? Referring to my pressure pot video. Yes, you can. I answered her actually up here. Yes, you can. In fact, the smaller the bucket, the better, more pressure you can put in it. I'm currently using a 3.5 gallon bucket, which is the one from the video. I'm still using the same one. It doesn't hold a lot of pressure, but that's why I use the 6-hour resin. It sits overnight. So the longer I can leave it sit overnight with the pressure pot on, it will have a better chance of squeezing the air and squeezing the bubbles with the long-term pressure. As opposed to putting a 10-minute resin in there, honestly, it would be completely worthless. I did have a 1.5 gallon bucket that I used way back when I was experimenting with this, and it did hold more pressure. And it worked okay, but the problem I was having is some of my molds, I don't have any sitting available. Some of my molds just aren't they were too big for that. Here's one here. This is one of the bigger molds that I use. It wouldn't fit in the bottom. So it didn't work. So that's why I use the 3.5 gallon bucket. Now, a lot of people have asked me, where do you get the lid? Where do you get the lid? Where do you get the bucket? I wish I had a link that I could give you guys. I got mine given me from a painter friend of mine who works for, I think the company's called Sherwin-Williams, or PPG, I'm sorry, PPG Paints. I always get those mixed up. 2 companies here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it had the gasket on, like I said. I haven't seen anywhere else. So I wish I could be more help with that. I'm still looking. If I ever do find a link or something, I would definitely throw it up on here. So she also asked, Jenna Custom Place, if you use a smaller bucket, what PSI do you go to, or how do you know when you're at the max PSI? Okay, so I said it in the follow-up video on this. It's a little, it can be a tad bit dangerous, I'm not going to lie. Now, the PSI, I have mine on the pump that I use to pump it up. There's a PSI meter right there. I had my big one up to 21 pounds, and it popped. The whole bucket popped. Now, by popping, I don't mean it exploded and shot the thing up through the roof. It one of the little clips came up and it went, and the air came out and it was fine. Didn't fly across the room. I mean, it potentially could. That's why I have to give everybody, please be careful on this. Smaller buckets, whatever you can put in it, basically. I really don't know. I wish I did. I know I have used as low as 8 psi and still got results overnight. So I just wish I knew better. I wish I had better information to tell you. Of course, the people that are out there, they're telling you, oh, you go to Harbor Freight and you pay $150 for this and you need this, you need that. You do. You really do. If you're going to do this long term, you should get the expensive and the right tools. But these videos, like I said a million times, are for people just trying it out, to try to do it the cheapest way possible, to A, see if they like the hobby, or B, if they just want to make a couple things and they don't want to spend $100 and $200 on equipment just to make a couple things for their friends for birthdays or Christmas or something. As I call it, the holiday hobbyist. Someone told me I should keep using that, but I can't use it if I can't say it. So I hope that answered your question. Moving on. Tamara Tenor. That's actually a friend of mine. Not gonna lie, I know her. She's cool. We've been friends our entire life. She lives like the whole way across the state, though I never see her. About the monkey video, the 101 monkeys. Yeah, that's actually a thing. If you get a chance to watch that video, it's a short video. It's actually real. Hundreds monkeys running amok in my neighborhood. Yeah, there was a truck crash and had 100 monkeys in it. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. You got to watch the video. Your input was hilarious. Monkey disease. Don't give CDC any new ideas. Doggy. What you doing? Up. Say hello. Oh, I can't see you. Come over here. There you go. All right, go play. Go play. That's Grace. She's my puppy. Okay, next one. Freya. My first instinct was Freya. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. But Freya 92, one day ago. About I'm making a vacuum chamber. This is a special announcement video. You can check it out if you want. She says, yay, I can't wait to see. Your videos have been so helpful. Well, thank you, Freya92. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being hanging around and seeing the dumb stuff I do. Moving on. Comic Droid, talking about my cardboard playset video, which that's actually what I do. You want to talk merch? That's my merch. I put it on eBay and I sell those, but I don't really do a lot of videos about it. But hey, if you want to check it out, it's Jenner Custom Toys on eBay. All one word. Okay, articulation on homemade figures. Let us know final figures. Okay, because I did say in that I was going to do a second video of the action figures I do, or the figurines I do. I haven't gotten around to do that yet. And I'll tell you why, because I had a whole bunch sitting around here. I had a whole collection, and somebody from Canada, I think, wanted some on the fly. So I sold all my own collection, and I have to remake them. But that is coming. Comic Droid again, about the same video. I have that book, need to dig it up. It's a great book, never completely looked through it. He is talking about, excuse my reach. He's talking about this book here. This is an older version. The Ultimate Guide to Vintage Star Wars Action Figures, 1977 and 1985. And if you open this, it shows you all the products that Kenner released back in the day. It's a good book if you want to know what accessories go with what toy. There's prices in here. Can't really go by it because the prices are changing all the time. So, yeah, if you get a chance, pick yourself up one. This one was, it's not dated, but I know it's a couple years old. Comic Droid again. I love this video. 45 years old. My brother had Star Wars, and I collected everything. Never, ever seen these. Awesome. I need some now. He's talking about the cardboard. He's never seen them. Yeah, check them out. I mean, they were a thing. The ones I sell are pretty close to the originals. They're really hard to put together, though. And I still get a lot of people leaving me messages that went from eBay saying they had a hard time putting it together. But honestly, we had a hard time putting it together back in the 79, 80, and 81 when they were released. And that hasn't changed. Okay, let's go. Let's skip through him. He's a good guy, it seems. Thank you for participating, but I'm going to go ahead and skip down to somebody new here. Mr. Gadgets on the vacuum chamber special announcement. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Made the pressure pot. Turned out great. Nice. I did ask him where he found the lid because I'm still trying to find a lid for you guys. And he said he didn't quite use the same container. He works in a warehouse that uses pretty solid single-use chemical buckets. with lockable screw-on lids, which, read more. I work in a warehouse that uses pretty solid single-use chemical buckets with lockable screw-on lid, which I had sealed with rubber. So not sure if anyone else can get their hands on it. Sorry. Oh, don't be sorry. We can't find them either. But if you do, let me know so I can let everybody else know. Darth Tasty 2099 one day ago. Talking about I put a bunch of my own collection. I had duplicates and stuff, and I started putting them on eBay because now's the time to do it. And so that was the video, is me showing people how I value my collections when I go to sell it. Like, like this figure right here, look it up and see what it's actually selling for. Is it worth selling, or should I keep it? I mean, some of them were pretty high dollar amounts, and those are the ones I'm like, well, I have 2 of these, I'll just sell it. Anyway, he says, awesome content, great video, nothing but the best from Jenner Custom Toys. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Robert Johnson, on how to use a reusable molding compound, part of my series. More if you can, please. I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it. Same video, same guy. Thanks for your knowledge and experience. We appreciate you. I like hearing that kind of stuff. See, positivity makes me happy. I delete all the negative ones there. There was quite a few, but I delete them. It ain't worth it. Okay, how to make a pressure pot again. It Works Websites, it's called. I'm curious if a space bag and a vacuum cleaner would work, maybe with the resin with a longer pot life. You can see I already answered them. I was wondering about something similar myself. If you try it, let me know. I'm not sure if a vacuum cleaner would be strong enough, though. I have been wondering about a shop vac, but I feel like it wouldn't have enough power. So I guess he's going to try it and let me know. Hopefully we'll find that out too before I make those vacuum chambers I'm going to make this weekend. So next, Yannick on how to make a pressure pot. Thank you so much. I've been reluctantly shopping for a pressure pot on and off, but never got one because of the price. This is perfect for me. Okay, Yannick, I hope it works for you. Just remember, watch part 2 of the video. It gets little safety issues taken care of. I don't want to see anybody get hurt or, the whole object of this is to do it cheaply and efficiently, but safety, take that in mind. And, if it's something you do like doing, use it a couple times and then maybe invest in the big one if you're going to keep going. Comic Droid again on the resin pressure pot video again. Just saw a guy on Instagram buy one for who knows how much, then I found this. Cool. Yeah, like I said, that's the whole object of me doing these, is to try to find the cheapest way possible that works. So another one says, where do you get your sealed bucket? Like I said, as soon as I can give you guys a link, I will. Gaffney Media on the pressure pot. He's asking, you can use pressure instead of vacuum. I'm like, yes, you can. We're going to teach you how this weekend. Yes, you can use a vacuum instead of pressure. You can use a pressure instead of vacuum. It all depends on what you want to do, what you're making, what you want to accomplish. A simple pressure pot is you pour your mold, you put it in the pressure pot, and you leave my pressure pot, the one I use, you leave it sit overnight after it's pumped up, and you get good results out of it. A vacuum chamber, well, we're going to learn how to do that this weekend, so I'm just going to leave that one open-ended. Okay, Carrie D143, 4 days ago. Have you tried making a little? And I'm assuming she meant a little pressure pot, and I just explained earlier, yes, I have. And I told her I made a smaller one that worked, but hardly anything fits in it. But it worked. Okay, more pressure pot questions. You guys really love that pressure pot video, don't you? I can't wait to get the vacuum pot done. We'll you know what we'll do after they're both done? Assuming the vacuum pot's going to work, we'll do a comparison. I'll make the same thing in one and in the other, and then we'll do the comparison. I'll do a comparison video just to see if it makes any difference. And I'll have to have a control group, too, where I don't use anything. That'll be fun. Mila Sorsh. Once again, I'm sorry they don't tell you how to pronounce these names. On the pressure pot video again, thank you. I was going to spend a couple $100. Now I don't have to. That means I can afford more resin. Oh, don't we all know that? Resin's pretty expensive. Yeah, the resin. Between the resin and if you have to buy the molding compound, if you're using a white resin, it can rack up some money. Planet Schlock, 5 days ago, on my 2-part resin mold. I can never seem to get my mold boxes airtight on the inside. at least for the second layer of silicone. So all of my 2-part molds end up being 1-part molds. I mean, they still work just fine, but it's still kind of frustrating. I can never seem to get my mold boxes airtight on the inside. Okay, as I said here, if you can see it, I use hot glue in all the box connectors. Sometimes I miss a spot. You're right, though. It can be very frustrating, but hang in there, dude. We're not perfect. Watch my video again. That's all I can say on that. I don't have a mold box laying around here, but I go through with hot glue on the inside and the outside, up and down. It makes it a little sloppy around the corners, but it works. I mean, and I have had them overflow before whenever I missed a spot. So just keep being patient. Do your best. You know, if some leaks out, you might have to add a little more resin to it. Just do the best you can, man. Nobody on this group, including myself, is an expert. You know, you see these other videos where they do it perfect every time, and I wish we could do that perfect every time. And, well, I just blew a fuse, so I'm going to have to pause this. I'll come right back to this in a second. So, yeah, sorry about that. I blew a fuse. I have space heaters here because I got a lot of stuff that I just painted. I'm waiting for it to dry. That's why I decided to do the video now. But we're back. Where was we? Oh, we were talking about the mold boxes, and I think I already said it. You got to hot glue around the inside and the outside, and we're not perfect. I miss them. I miss spots all the time too. So just don't try to be perfect. Just do the best you can. Learn from your mistakes, and you know for the next one. I mean, if we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. So, next on my top 10 complaints from my viewers. That's a video I did a little bit ago whenever it was just some mean stuff, and I'm like, I didn't even put in the bad stuff. I took out the old stuff. But anyway, she says, Sandra Gould, screw them, you're great. Oh, thanks. You're pretty great too, Sandra. Thank you. Next comment is from Madeline. This right here. I'll highlight it. This right here. Y'all can figure out how to say it. Okay. Maddie Lion 22. That's how I think I should say it. And about the resin pressure pot video again. Thank you so much. You're the best. No, you're the best for hanging out and putting up with me. But it's always nice to hear people enjoy this stuff because I enjoy doing it. So I'm just glad you're here. Next, another one from Sandra Gould. Late Night Rants. Oh, that was the video I did complaining about everybody on YouTube begging for money. And it's not everybody. It's just certain people just take it overboard. And if you get a chance, check that out. I think I got a copyright strike on that one because I used some other people's footage, but I don't care. It was worth it. Actually, it was a copyright claim, but that's okay. It doesn't hurt my channel. I don't know if they muted it or what, but it's these girls just sitting there looking pretty saying, give me money. Give me money. Where's my money? Why don't you got all this money? Why don't you send me some money? No content, nothing interesting at all. I think my stuff's more interesting than that, and I'm not even interesting. But anyway, she says, wow, some people really do this. And I'm like, yes, unfortunately they do. Some people will do anything to become internet famous and not get a job like the rest of us. And that's all I saw whenever I see the people that I was reacting to. Now, I'm not saying all YouTubers are like that. They're not. I have 2 good friends that have YouTube channels, and they're doing very well. They have good content. They're interesting. I talk to them almost every time they go live. I talk to them in real life, too. They're cool dudes. And but they have content. They're not sitting there, gimme. Just not the way to go about it, you know? This should be a hobby. It should not be a job. And I see people doing the new thing now is people, there's one guy in particular, and I'm not going to mention his name because it's just not worth it. There's a guy who's going through other people's videos, and he goes through a couple. Well, the ones I saw were cooking videos. So, and this guy takes pieces of the person's cooking video and just sits there and destroys them, tells them how they're going to kill somebody, how they're a horrible cook and everything like that. And when he first started doing this, I watched some of his earlier videos, he picked on this one dude. He picked on a bunch of people. This one dude is the one I followed. And he picked on him at first. And first he was right. He had some bad food handling skills, let's put it that way. So the guy was right. He just did one a couple days ago. And this is over about a 6-7 month span. He just did one on the same guy about a few days ago. It was last week sometime whenever I saw it. I'm trying to be quick. Anyway, part of the recipe was rice-a-roni. that the guy was cooking. Now, if you know how to cook rice-a-roni, you melt some butter, you pour the dry rice and vermicelli into a pan, you stir it up until it gets brown, and you add your water. Well, this guy who likes to put down this guy so bad went out of his way to say that's not how you cook rice, and he starts going on a tangent. As rice-a-roni has been around since like 1925, I think, and it's always been you brown it in a skillet with butter and put water on it. Now, if you don't know that, that's fine. Some people don't eat rice-a-roni, but if you don't know that, then you have no business taking this man's video and ripping him apart for it when you are not right. Boy, did he get blown up in the comments, and he deserved it too. If you're going to criticize someone else, make sure you know what you're talking about. That's all I got to say about that one. Anyway, Tamara Tenor again on my potato soup. She said, that looks simple and delicious. I'm going to make this next weekend. Thanks, Bruce. You're very welcome. It is really good soup, though. If you guys like potato soup, check it out. It's easy to make. And it's so bad for you, though. It's loaded potato soup, so I don't skimp on anything. I don't put any fat-free stuff in it. It's one of those things you can treat yourself to once in a while. Otherwise, you're going to blow up. Love Joy Peaches on the potato soup again. That looks delicious, and I can just imagine how good it smells as it cooks. Thank you. And it did smell. Thank you. And it did smell so good. It just, no. I wish you could like download a smell of what my kitchen smelled like that day. It was just really nice. We should be coming to the end here. Okay, this is about the video where an eBay buyer threatened to come and kill me. Mothman evolved 8 days ago. Someone threatening me on eBay, and I was able to defuse the situation, and it was left at that. But sometimes you meet these insane buyers on eBay, and it makes eBay extremely toxic. Yeah, it does. But, I do a lot of eBay business, and 99% of the time, I have no problems at all. I get a few people that maybe aren't happy with something. I always work it out. But you just get that one every once in a while that just want to be mean and just flip out. And this particular video was about a $10 item. $10. Watch the video. It's in 3 parts. Okay, next, let's get the happy stuff. Another resin pressure pot comment from Amanda Winters. Great video. Love the narration. Yeah, if you've ever seen that video, and I'm assuming you probably did because it's my biggest video I have, I forgot to turn the microphone on for one part in it. So rather than me go back and do it all over again and explain it because, well, I talk enough as it is, I shrunk myself down. I played the video with no sound, and I sat there and tried to narrate what I was doing. I ended up just making fun of myself the whole time, which was completely not scripted. And but it actually ended up being pretty funny. And if I'd have known that video was going to go with as many viewers as it did, I think it's up to like 42,000 viewers, 42,000 views. I probably would have taken more time and been a little more professional doing it. But if you know me by now, this is what you get. I don't script anything. All comes from my head. And I'm still glad everybody watched the video. Like I said, we got the vacuum chamber video coming up as soon as I can get it made. And I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this weekend. Okay, moving on. How to make your own reusable molding comment from Brett Green. Great video. I'm always experimenting with new ways to make molds. Do you think this would work for concrete? Even if it was destroyed, it would be awesome. If anyone has tried it with concrete, please let me know. And like I told him, I was thinking about this. I don't think it would work with concrete. Try it and see. I really don't think. And it depends on what you're trying to make. I mean, because I would think if you're making something huge, it's going to take a lot of molding compound. I think you're better off using clay. But I don't work with concrete. I did back in the day, but these were huge pipes that I used to make for Cincinnati Concrete Pipe. I just can't picture that working. But hey, I've been proven wrong before. So, okay, on to my chicken marsala video. Abby Saxman says, I love marsala with Alfredo. Nice job, Bruce. Thank you. But if I use Alfredo, wouldn't that be chicken Alfredo? 2 completely different sauces, I would think. I appreciate the comment. Maybe if you're watching this, you can elaborate. Yeah, I mean, if she meant the pasta, she'd say with fettuccine. Unless she wants a side of fettuccine Alfredo on the side of the chicken marsala. I'll bet you that's what she means. But yeah, that's another one too. That was a very easy recipe. A lot of people were intimidated by chicken marsala because it sounds fancy. It's very easy to make. If you want to learn to cook it, check out my video. That's I think that's the first one I used the new logo for. There's that you can see right here. There's a cutting board. My daughter bought me that for Christmas. It has my name on it. It's kind of neat, and it's got my chef knife there. That chef knife and me have a history. It goes all the way back to when I went to culinary school. Whenever I had color in my hair. Okay, we are back to. Yeah, I did that. That was the last one we did from the last video. So we're done. We are done. So I just thought I'd be a little personal and do these, get caught up and try to personally address everybody. I think it's a good idea. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up down there and subscribe. I'm still trying to get more subscribers. By all means, leave more comments. Let me know if you think this type of a video is a good idea. Let me know. I'll keep doing it. If you don't, say you don't think it's a good idea. I'm indifferent about it. I like reading these comments. I like making a personal comment back. Yeah, so just let me know what you think. And like I said, I got the denture video coming up too. Actually, I've been working on it. This is what I come up with. This hasn't been trimmed yet, but I'm not gonna show you close up. But it's not too bad. I almost got the colors right. Also, yeah, the vacuum chamber is going to be my next priority, unless I do something off topic. Like I don't think I'll be doing any cooking videos this week. But you never know. So, all right. Well, I will catch you later. Please like, and if you want to join us, come to my Facebook. You find me on Facebook. You want to check out my eBay page. It's Jenner Custom Toys, all one word. And have a good day.
Mr. Bruce is being weird again. All right, then.